What if the Earth stopped spinning for 5 seconds? Imagine waking up one morning and everything feels off. Not apocalyptic, not even dramatic, just strange. Birds aren't chirping, the wind has stopped, and there's a faint, almost unnoticeable vibration in the air. That's because 5 seconds ago, something impossible happened. The Earth stopped spinning. At first, it seems like nothing's really wrong. After all, 5 seconds is barely enough time to send a text. But the Earth is a massive sphere rotating at over 1,600 kilometers per hour, about 1,000 miles per hour, at the equator. That's faster than the speed of sound. So if it suddenly came to a complete halt, even for just 5 seconds, the consequences would be, well, complicated and terrifying. Let's break it down. If the Earth stops, but you don't, you're going to keep moving at the same speed the Earth was spinning before. That means, for a very brief but intense moment, everything not bolted to the planet would fly eastward at over 1,000 kilometers per hour. Cars, trees, houses, cows, humans, even the oceans and atmosphere would lurch violently in that direction. It would be like being in a car crash, except the car is the planet, and you're the unlucky passenger without a seatbelt. In coastal areas, this would trigger colossal tsunamis as the oceans, no longer being held in their rotational flow, slosh violently across continents. Skyscrapers would shear off their foundations. Planes in the air might survive if they were lucky, but anything on land would be instantly pulverized. But here's the catch: the Earth doesn't stop rotating everywhere in the same way. Near the poles, rotational speed is minimal. People there might feel a strong gust, a strange wobble, or perhaps nothing at all, and they'd survive. But at the equator, where rotational velocity is highest, the destruction would be total. Countries like Brazil, Indonesia, or Kenya would be devastated beyond recognition. And then, just as quickly as it stopped, the Earth begins spinning again. This would unleash a second round of chaos. Imagine everything that was hurled forward is now being yanked back into motion in the opposite direction. Buildings that somehow survived the first blast are now hit from the other side. Those who were airborne, whether by unfortunate accident or just jumping at the wrong moment, might land hundreds of meters away, if they land at all. Now, let's talk atmosphere. The Earth's air is also rotating with the planet, so when the Earth stops, the atmosphere doesn't. For 5 seconds, a furious superstorm would race across the globe. Winds stronger than any hurricane ever recorded would tear through cities, lifting everything in their path. You wouldn't just lose your hat, you'd lose your roof, your car, your cat, and possibly your entire neighborhood. This wouldn't just be a physical catastrophe. The sudden halt and restart would mess with Earth's magnetic field. The spinning core helps generate this field, which protects us from cosmic radiation. A 5 second pause could weaken the shield temporarily, letting in a burst of solar particles. Maybe just a beautiful aurora in some areas. Or maybe, if the timing's really unlucky, a deadly dose of radiation in high altitude regions. Okay, but what about the people underground? Let's say you're in a basement, a subway, or a deep cave. You might just survive. The ground itself would absorb some of the momentum. Not all, but enough to give you a fighting chance. Of course, if your cave collapses or floods due to the aforementioned tsunamis, that's a different story. Electronics, fried, satellites in orbit, many would be thrown off course or crash. GPS would be scrambled, communications down, and most of our fragile digital infrastructure would collapse like a house of cards. Global panic would spread, although that assumes anyone is still around to panic. After those 5 seconds, Earth resumes spinning like nothing happened. But everything else has changed. The landscape would be unrecognizable. Forests turned to mulch, cities reduced to rubble, oceans violently reshaped coastlines, carving new bays and swallowing old ones. Survivors, if there are any, would step out into a world that feels alien, not because it's unfamiliar, but because it's ours, just rewritten by physics. And the weirdest part? There wouldn't be any warning. No countdown, no strange weather. Just a normal day, until it isn't. Now, to be clear, this can't actually happen. The laws of physics don't allow the Earth to just pause its rotation like a scratched DVD. The energy involved in stopping a spinning planet is beyond comprehension, and there's nothing in the universe that could pull it off without destroying the Earth completely. But that's the fun of hypothetical questions. They let us explore the edges of possibility without needing them to make sense. So next time you feel the ground under your feet and the gentle breeze,